when I exported that one into an MP3, it was such a big file for some reason. Any other time I exported an episode into MP3, it was like, 100 megabytes, now 80, 117 at the most. But, and like, they took like two minutes to, like, 2 to 2.5 minutes to, like, export and whatever. For some reason, episode 11 took, like, 7 minutes, and then the MP3 was 229 gigabytes. Or not gigabytes, megabytes. Now I will say, off of that, to upload it to the Acast, the website I'm using to upload all the audio forms of the podcast, which you can go and check out now if you're ever so inclined. If you want to listen to this on the go, on the bus,
have we started
in a
the
car?
episode?
Yes. And so, like, but to upload it there, it's whatchamacallit, like, it's 150 megabyte, like, maximum. Has to be smaller than that one. So I just couldn't upload the episode. So what I had to do was I had to take that MP3, put it into Audacity, make it a WAV file, take that WAV file, like, close off that Audacity, open up Audacity again, take that WAV file, put that back in, then convert it to an MP3, which then made it smaller in size to actually be uploaded to the website. I don't know what that does. I don't know why it has like that. It sounded the exact same as it was before, so it doesn't sound as compressed. Weird. It doesn't sound more compressed in any way. I don't know. We'll start the show proper now. I just wanted to say my fun little thing, because it's been a minute since we've done one of these. Hello and welcome to I'll Sleep When I'm Done Talking, into which we don't sleep until Ami does. I'm Cara.
I'm David.
And this episode's a very special episode. We have a very special guest. We have my lovely partner Ami joining us today.
A resident insomniac?
Resident insomniac.
You guys will never get to sleep.
And the reason I brought Ami in is because this week's episode is fashion dolls.
I'm the expert.
I like that I put a pause in there, like the intro would go there, but I know where the intro goes. It doesn't go there. It's just like I'm just so used to podcasts having the intro upbeat in, but it's fine.
Your pauses.
Oh, haha. Anyway, so Damo, we'll go with you first. What's your history of fashion dolls? Because because you're gonna be prepared. It's gonna be quick and simple, Damo. That's why I've gone with you first.
Oh, I'm easy. Okay, yeah. Well, my experience with fashion dolls is extremely minimal. The Barbies count as fashion dolls, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, cool. So I did have Barbies at one point. Don't know what happened to them. That was a very long time ago, so I have like basically no memories apart from like pulling a box out from underneath my bed as a kid and just looking at them and then promptly putting them back. And then fast forward like fucking, how old was I don't know, like 15 years or something like that. And suddenly these two come into the mix being like, hey, have you heard of Monster High? And I'm like, yes, I have heard of Monster High. I haven't seen any Monster High dolls since I was like 14. And then they show me Monster High. And it is not the same Monster High that I am used to personally. But at the same time that I like them enough that I end up buying, I end up getting 3 different Monster High dolls. And I want more, but toys are expensive.
Oh, they are.
They're very expensive. I like at the current moment, I have Draculaura sitting with all my other little figurines right over to the side of me. I don't remember the other two's names.
You could describe them.
You mean Frankie and the
and
Gen 3 Laguna?
Laguna, that's her name. That's right. Well, they're all Gen 3.
Yes, but
So I don't know
Yeah.
why you specified specifically Gen 3 Laguna.
because in Gen 1
No,
and
it'll
Gen
come up
2,
later.
It'll come up later.
Okay.
It'll come up later. She's like a different character
yeah,
in the
no.
third generation with the same
Yeah,
name.
no, Laguna is like entirely different, so it is probably good to bring up because like with all the
That
other
is
characters,
fair.
it's like still like, oh yeah, they still kind of look the same, a little different. Then it's Laguna who has the same name, and that's it. Everything is different.
That's fair. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I've definitely had a slight interest in fashion dolls beforehand. Just every now and then, like when I would be scrolling Etsy, I would see people list like custom doll clothes for Monster High dolls specifically, and a few other ones, but I don't remember specifically which they are. And I thought that's pretty cool. Maybe I should look into that, and I didn't, but I'm here now, and I've got more of an interest in them. And I think it's a really cool art form. I've been shown some like custom dolls and custom doll designs and how people customize them and such, and it's fucking awesome. It's a really, really cool art form. But other than that, really, it's not something that I'm super deep in on. Not as much as you'll see the others are in on.
It's probably
But-
mostly me.
Yeah. But I'm very much just an observer over by the wayside. I am a bystander in this episode. But that's pretty much it for me.
So
I have 3 dolls and I like them.
yeah, no, they're good. So I can give a bit of backstory to add extra like background to Damo's story. So I didn't grow up on fashion dolls in any way. The closest I would arguably have is Lego, to which I would swap out the clothing to match what the character is at a certain time or whatever, as one does. But then Army and I were at the shops, we're having a look around. And we see some stuff on sale because it's mid-year sales. It's mid-year sales, and Army gets very excited about a thing I haven't heard of in either a long time or at all. Like, I think I'd vaguely heard about it, but it wasn't very much sure. And Army was getting very excited because the new Monster High dolls had, they'd been out, but they were very cheap at the point. And Army was like, look at all these are really cool. And I'm looking at them. I guess the other background is I'm a Ninja Turtles fan. I love Ninja Turtles a lot. I think Ninja Turtles are great. I think they're really cool. They are very much my bracket for what makes a good action figure, which is actual posable joints. So they have knee joints, they have elbow joints. They can hold stuff in their hands. They can move their head around. And they can do fun poses, and that's good for play and just having fun action stuff, whatever. When I was a kid and you'd go to a hotel, you'd bring a Ninja Turtle with you, and they would do, like, parkour shit. It was fun as anything. And that's what I think makes a really good action figure. And then Army was like, look at these cool fashion dolls. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll have a look. And these Monster High dolls, especially the new ones, I'm like, oh, these look really good. They got, like, knee joints, they got arm joints, they got, like, hand, they can, like, adjust to the wrist. These look really good. These look really quality. Hey, this one's got like a prosthetic. This is a Frankenstein. I really like that. That's really cool. And so Army and I, we buy, because Army buys Draculaura, I buy Frankie, and then we go home. And then we open it up and I'm like, this is really good. And I'm like, oh no. In a similar way to when I got like that, I very vividly remember when I got the 2012 Leonardo Ninja Turtle action figure. We're at the shops. It was like, I remember like being like, oh, can I have that? My parents being like, yeah, whatever. And we got it, and I was like, cool. And it was $15, good price for it too. I didn't realize I had so much to say, but I very much just realized, oh, that's right. I have a little side special interest about like toys. And just like how they're designed and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, I have a very vivid memory of buying that Ninja Turtle and being like, wait, this is actually what makes a really cool action figure versus half the other toys I have, like my Ben 10 ones, which don't even bend at the, like, some of them bend, some of them just don't. And anyway, we bought the fashion dolls. I was like, oh, these are really cool. These are very fun, very posable. This is how they work, fun. I'm a bit scared to take off any of the clothes because I don't want to ruin them and rip them, and it's too much. We just spent so much money, even though it was
That's
half
what you
price.
were worried about.
Yeah, I'm very delicate with my toys.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but doll clothes aren't that easy to rip.
But I'm an idiot.
No, that's fair, but I've never been worried about that, so I didn't even consider that, right?
I was so worried of
wouldn't have
damaging
considered
the
that
toy, yeah.
I had no idea.
Anyway, yeah, and that was really fun, and I was like, oh no. And then we went back to the shops and we bought the rest of them. So then we had all 5 together, and we're like, uh-oh. And then we went and told Damo about them. So that's where we come into Damo's story. Which then led Damo to buy some, and then I bought one other one I bought Frankie for Damo, because Damo was wanting it, never didn't have it, and it was Christmas. And, like, we started buying them, and then, like, Ami started showing me Monster Hike. That was the one we were interested in. As we're going through, and I'm starting to pick up my Generation 1, the first series of it. Well, the first series of movies first, and then we went to the show.
We started at Gen 1 so you could understand the context, like, once we got to, like, Gen 3.
Yeah, because obviously...
Which we haven't quite gotten to.
Yeah, and as we're going through, and I was like, oh, I really like this character. Maybe I should get, like, the Gen 3 version of them. And then I was like, well, hold on. Those are 2 very different characters. You gotta keep that in mind. Gen 1 has Gen 1 versions of those characters. Gen 3, very different versions. I'm like, I see it. Like, your Ninja Turtles, I get it. I understand. So... I own... How many do I own? Because I own a Frankie and a Draculaura. I also learned about those coffin things that come with 2 outfits instead of 1. And when those are cheaper...
Ultimate Secrets.
Yeah, thank you. Those ones, you get a doll and 2 outfits. So why would you even buy the starter doll unless you specifically wanted that outfit? Because you get like then you'll have 2 dolls, which I do. I have 2 Frankies because Frankie's great. We love Frankie. You can tell I'm tired but have a bit of energy because I'm so just rambling, and it's great. It's good. It's good for the show, I hope. So I have 2 Frankies because I got like one of the Frankie coffin stuff. I have a Draculaura. I have a Twyla because Twyla's fun, although I only know Twyla from Gen 1 and Gen 2. I haven't met her in Gen 3 yet because we haven't gotten to Gen... We'll get to it. So I have the Twyla. I also have... Yes, I have the Dracula Twyla. I also have a Gen 3 Claudine still in box because I can't... It's really hard to get like the little things out of the hair, like with the packaging. Like with most stuff in the packaging.
By Draculaura.
Yeah, which I'll get Army to help out with getting rid of those. Because
I've been doing this for years.
I was doing it for years. We're terrible at it. It's really tough, and you don't want to cut the hair. It's terrible. So that's why my Claudine's still in the box. I also, still in the box, have a Generation 1 Abby Abominable, which is my favorite character, or one of my favorite characters from the first generation. And she's great. She's very fun. She's very... Like, she's Russian, she's got that very cold, like, thing of just, like, straight-faced explaining. It's fun. I love her. She's great. I have one of those. I also have, and I'm gonna need your help with this one, Army. Who's the skeleton one?
Oh, Skeleta.
Skeleta. I have a special...
She's Mexican.
I have a special edition. I have the Day of the Dead special edition version of her as well. Still in box because the box is pretty.
That's a Skeletor doll.
Yes, that's the fancy versions. I think that's.
I think it's called Han Couture specifically, like a Skeletor doll of the Han Couture kind.
Cool.
Which is the special outfits, or it might be Holiday. Actually, no, it might be
It's
Holiday because it's Day of the Dead.
I think it's Holiday.
Yeah.
I think that's all the ones I own. I've been and it's such a mess because I'll be sitting there being like, I have this urge to buy a fashion doll now, damn it, and then I'll go out and buy it. I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied.
Sucked in.
And then like after that, and I'm like, oh no, now I have the urge to buy an amiibo. Damn it! And I'll buy those. I'm like, phew. Oh no, now I have the urge to buy a movie. Damn it! The cycle will continue forever and onwards. But yeah, I think that's all the ones I have. I've had no experience up until this point. And I will talk about more of my first experiences because Ami has been showing me everything from under the sun. But not everything because Ami's nice and kind to me.
I only watch the bad stuff with you if you decide to watch it.
Yeah, so Ami, now we're gonna move on to yours. So you can fill out. So you can fill out my backstory a bit more as I just filled out with demos. Ami, what's your history of fashion dolls?
Mine actually started, like, ages ago. Like, I've always had dolls since I can remember. Not always fashion dolls, it's not how I started out. But, one of my favorite parts of the, more baby dolls I had was dressing them up. I even had one that wasn't quite baby, like, it was more like a small child doll with, like, pretty hair and everything, and my grandma knitted clothes for her so I could dress her up in different outfits and also bought clothes, and it was really fun.
I forgot about the baby dolls.
Oh, I had one of those.
Never.
I had a My Little Pony one.
Oh, yeah, I never had those, but a friend of mine had those. But I was surrounded by dolls. I even, sometime at, like, some distant relative's place, got to play with, like, some old Barbie horses and everything. And the main thing I've always had was Barbies. So many Barbies. Barely any movie-related ones, even though I had favorite Barbie movies, and that's, like, half what I watched as a kid. My mom even had to record some of them, because we couldn't get them on DVD, so she recorded them when they were on the TV. But I've been having dolls, like I've had them for years. There's like one movie specific Barbie I have, and I even had at my dad's place I also had I had a Barbie dollhouse which my dad specifically added working lights and a working doorbell into, which of course made it a lot more fun to play with. And I had a Barbie van, and I had, like, a Barbie with a color-changing dress, a Barbie where you could, like, dye her hair, and at some point I also got Monster High dolls, but that was something I was a little less exposed to as a kid, but still managed to somehow really get into, and I fell in love with the entire thing, and I even ended up getting some movies on DVD. Not as many as I had Barbie movies, but some, and that was special to me. And by now I've seen probably everything. Like everything. I've seen all of Monster High.
That's so many
Gen 1
things.
to Gen 3. Exactly. You know, all of Monster High from Gen 1 to Gen 3. The show, the movies, everything. The shows. I've seen, like, every classic Barbie movie, and I'm not on top of all of the new stuff, but I've seen a bit of the newer stuff. And I've also seen, I've watched everything I could find of Rainbow High. I've seen mermaids, which that was a decision that I am going to regret, but it's fine. Is there more shows? Oh yeah, Ever After High is also something I've watched, and I don't know if I first got Monster High dolls or Ever After High dolls, because that's a little bit hard to tell. But I have I've had in my doll collection over the years up until now, maybe. I've had more Ever After High dolls, actually, because I have a Raven Queen and two Cerise hoods, one being a special one, but I don't know if it was Throne Coming or not. And I've had when it comes to Monster High dolls, I've had, I think, 2 Draculaura dolls, one at my dad's place and one at my mom's place, with similar outfits, I think, but it's hard to remember because it's the only Monster High doll I've ever had. And I've also gotten into doll customizing, and after kind of losing touch with, like, the interest in fashion dolls for a couple of years, that's how I got back into it, actually, by watching a few doll customizing YouTubers, which got me so into it that I got out my old doll collection and removed my one Draculaura doll's face. The one Draculaura doll that I still have. And now I'm even more into it. Back into collecting. And I'm gonna try to get so many dolls. So many of the new Monster High dolls. Specifically because of the different body types.
It's so rad. If you do not know about this, which is so reasonable. So what Monster High has done, especially with this most recent generation, is they have a bunch of, like, a bunch of the characters have like different body types and sizes and just different things. I think in the next
every doll has a custom mold.
Which
every single doll that they make for Monster High, and they already had like something like that with like Gen 1 Monster High, but now it's even better and so much improved.
Like,
because different body types.
As a person who has a very fond history, or I've learned so much about the history of toys and how I've gotten from here to there and sort of stuff, and just going from like the classic He-Man of, well, every character needs to look the exact same because we have like the one mold that we can adjust slightly, which is the head. Making every character look the exact same, and then getting to the point where, you know, now you can have such, like, every individual character has their own customization. Like Frankie's got I forgot the word.
A prosthetic leg.
That was the word. Yeah. Leg.
You're welcome.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, you remembered prosthetic, but you forgot leg.
Yeah, totally. So like stuff like that, like, you know, like both Gen 3 Abby and Gen 3 Draculaura are a lot thicker, which is just so cool. That's so fun to see. You'd be like, oh, that's so different. That's so fun. You know, I felt very, like, again, I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about toys. I'm very passionate about kids having a good childhood. And seeing some of the toys that would come out, like Spider-Man, like I remember when Into the Spider-Verse came out, and looking at like the toys that were explicitly designed for kids that parents could buy, and I was like, what is this? Like, they're different molds, sure, but like their legs maybe have joints, or their arms, and then they don't really move very well. And like, yeah, you could get like adult action figures, and the only reason I'm saying adult is because they're $40. And I'm like, why would I spend $40 on a character? What are you talking about? And so like they had all the movements, you could pop out the hands and the head and whatever. But like the basic ones for kids were terrible, and I was like, what is this? And Monster and most fashion dolls are pricey. They are about $40. But they go on sale more often, and also they're just wholly unique. Like, they've got this whole thing. You can, again, they're fashionable. You can do stuff. You can take off their clothes, change them around, put on other clothes. That's a toy action figure. And then you can go out and make them do parkour or photo shoots or anything. I'm just so happy that kids can be like, I want that, and they can get it, and they have the opportunity to have something really cool and really fun. And it has a car sometimes, if you can find it for a good price.
Yeah, no, but there's probably like nothing more special than being a little kid and seeing yourself represented in like a doll or a show. Specifically, dolls makes it more special because it's like me. This is a thing that looks like me, a toy that is me. You know, it's a lovely experience, which is why I appreciate even more if there's like actually dolls with like different hair textures. Which a lot of dolls don't quite have that, but that's what doll customizing is for. Dolls look so cool when they're actually given braids, which I'll give it to one specific doll line that I forgot about completely. They did do that, which is LOL surprise.
Oh yeah.
They have like big sister dolls, and they actually have so many cool different hair textures. They're also the same company that did Rainbow High. And also, they're also the company behind Bratz.
Ah.
That's a fun little fact.
If only we knew what this company was. Shame we can't even look it up. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure it's MGA Entertainment. Oh, did you think I wasn't prepared enough?
Anyway, the next question I was going to go ask around, because what toy line doesn't have a television show to go with it? So, you know, you can advertise to the kids, or movie or whatever. So I was gonna ask Damo specifically at this current moment. What is your experience with like the related media? Do you have experience with the Barbie movie or other things?
Well, I do have experience with the Barbie movies specifically. I think I had quite a few of them on DVD specifically, and then I got rid of them, regrettably, because I did that preteen thing of like, no, I'm a teenager now. I can't have Barbie movies.
I get it, and the no longer liking pink, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I had that face too.
Oh man.
I clearly didn't. You can tell. I'm like, why would I give anything away? It's all mine.
Yeah.
I also didn't give anything away, but I get it.
Yeah, but the movies I did have, let's see, I had the Three Musketeers. I had the one with the two of them living in a cottage.
Diamond
Barbie and the Diamond Castle.
Yeah, Diamond Castle, that's what it was. I had one of the mermaid ones. I don't remember which one it was.
Was it like Mermaid Tale, like Barbie and a Mermaid Tale, or was it Fairytopia Mermaidia, like the one with the fairies?
Mermaid Tale sounds more familiar.
Okay,
that's the surfing one.
Yeah, it's the surfing one.
Okay, not the surfing one.
Okay, then either you had you could have still had Pearl Princess, which is just mermaids, no humans, no fairies, no nothing.
But
that one's
they ate water-breathing plants. That's all I remember.
Then it's Mermaidia. Then it's Fairytopia Mermaidia, which is the second movie out of the Mermaidia trilogy.
Cool. Did I have anything? I feel like I definitely did have a few others, but those were the ones I watched the most, especially the Three Musketeers specifically. I don't know why that one specifically I just latched onto, but I watched that movie so much. But, I mean, I don't think it... Oh, no, wait, there was other media. Okay, there was like I think it was Bratz Super Babies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Bratz Super Babies, which from what I remember was a very, very low budget CGI movie. The title speaks for itself. But,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, and for some reason, I only watched it on the family computer? I don't know why. I literally don't know what's up with that. I definitely had a few different Barbie and Bratz themed video games as well, but don't remember them too much off the top of my head. It was basically just whatever we had, but those were the things that I definitely remember the most out of all of the fashion doll media that I had growing up.
Nice.
Yeah. So, bad movie, from what I remember, and 3 better movies.
Fucking Barbie video games.
So
I forgot about those.
So
yeah, all the video games. I had one. I don't remember anything from it, apart from, like, being in a shopping center and doing a little dress-up minigame, and that's it.
Huh.
So, yeah.
It was a PC game.
So my experience with any of this media is just from Ami. I had no experience with any of it previous. And Ami was like, well, you like the fashion dolls from Monster High. Why don't we watch the original movies? And I'm like, yeah, alright. I wasn't expecting much. But I gotta say, Monster High movies, like, not every one of them, but most of them are pretty solid. They're pretty fun. Damo copped like 1.5 of them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, a few of them.
Yeah, they're pretty fun.
We'll change that.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about that one. That will be changed.
Oh god.
I'm saying that because we are going to get we're gonna get Wet's starting to get curious about him. About Monster High. Like, I talked a little bit about him. And
we should all watch Monster High movies together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what's fun about specifically that story was actually, there was one little experience I had previous, which was me and roommate watching, like, just scrolling through Netflix, and we hit like Fusion Frenzy, and like the little preview comes up, and I'm watching it, and we're like, is this any good? and we couldn't tell. We had no. We're like, it seems maybe good actually, but I don't know because of the era that it was made in. I'm really not sure. Like, it's kind of landed, but kind of, and it's a fusion movie. Of course, I'm going to be interested in it. I love that premise. That premise is great. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I was very excited to go through and watch all the movies, which I'm pretty sure my favorite Monster High ones was like, it was Fusion Frenzy and what was the other one I really liked? While I'm trying to remember that one.
Did you like 13 Wishes? Was it 13
Wishes? I think
Wishes?
that might have been my top movie. I think it was. 13 Wishes turned out to be my favorite. It was
also, you keep saying Frenzy, but it's Freaky Fusion. I was thinking about, and then I looked at my little list that I made.
Fusion.
It's Freaky Fusion.
Fusion Frenzy might actually be like one of those like Cartoon Network website video games. From like on the PC, like on the actual website, one of those play-in browser games. I think that might be what I'm thinking of with that specific naming. But yeah, Freaky Fusion's the movie I'm talking about. Yes, thank you for the correction. It's very fun to be on the opposite side of this for once. It's so lovely.
I'm the expert for a reason.
Yeah, and then
you say lovely specifically, where like that's not the first word that would come to mind for me.
Well, gee, Damo, I didn't know you felt that way about my interactions. Anyway. Ami's also been showing me the Barbie movies because I have had no experience to them aside from the live action one from last year. But they have been
which we also watched together.
We did watch that together, which was nice. But yeah, it's they've been real fun. They've been real good. I've been having a good time. My favorite one is Barbie and the pink shoes.
Yes, Barbie and the pink shoes.
Yeah, that one's my favorite. I don't think any other movie will come close to. Like, there are movies that close. Like Diamond Castle was pretty good. Three Musketeers I had a fun time with. There was another one that was the Magic of the Pegasus. That one was also good.
Yeah.
There was one other one that was. I guess it was those ones. But specifically, Pink Shoes just kind of. I just wasn't expecting the plot. It just really took me off guard. I was like, oh, what? Whoa, that's crazy.
Maybe the other one was Starlight Adventure?
No, that was
That
fine.
one still? No.
That was fine.
Fair.
Video
Game Hero?
That was surprising, but it was fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to go with what could have been surprisingly good.
It was it wasn't surprising. The plot shocked me because it was just not what I was expecting at all, in any way. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's fun as." But yeah, no, like, yeah, it's
Fair.
it's fun. It's good. It's Yeah, I've been having a great time going through these Barbie movies. And, he also showed me Ever After High, which,
yes,
first season I didn't get into. The Wonderland stuff was very fun, because that one's it's like Monster High, but instead of the monsters, it's all fairy tale stuff. And it's a bit too squeaky clean for my liking in the first. It's a bit weird season one. But beyond that, there's some real fun stuff in there. And then I went looking for the dolls, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't like these dolls at all.
Their heads are so big.
They have very big heads for some reason. I'm like, why would you do this? Why don't just make a proportionately nice doll?
Big heads, flat faces, they look a little strange.
They look a bit upsetting, especially when compared to the craftsmanship that is a Monster High doll. So you're like, okay. But I'll say this, Barbie hasn't gotten me nowhere near as much be like, oh, I want that doll. Where Monster High 100% had, and then Ever After High got me I was like, oh, maybe I should try and look for that one. Like, Barbie hasn't really done that.
I mean, to be fair, I keep forgetting that Barbie is a fashion doll because it doesn't. She just doesn't have that vibe to it.
The closest I
like
get
to movies and everything.
To anything was on Marketplace, I saw someone was selling like these anniversary dolls that they had made in like I think maybe the 90s or something. And basically, it was like, oh, here's like a remade version of the doll from 1975. Here's a remade version of the doll from 1955. And I was like, oh, these are really cool. These are fun little collector cool things. I like this. This is nice. I do remember that we do technically own a Barbie and a Ken doll.
Yeah. I mean, they're mine.
Yes, they are yours.
No, it's was it something
magic
totally
earring?
hair?
It's magic earring.
Oh, earring magic. Earring magic Barbie and earring magic Ken, which is also known as cock ring Ken.
Yes.
And that will give us not the explicit rating. Me saying fuck will give us the explicit rating on iTunes. So isn't that
good
fun?
job.
Isn't that fun?
Yay!
Yeah, but yeah, no, like they're very fun. Man. I need to have water. I'm thirsty. Ami, what's your experience with media? I think I'm done.
Oh, well, I did already mention that I watched like all of Monster High, which is, again, I had some DVDs. I watched some of that growing up, but I mainly watched Barbie movies, with the 12 Dancing Princesses being my favorite at the time. Now that has kind of shifted, and I think Diamond Castle is further up now. I will always keep I will always keep the 12 Dancing Princesses in a special place in my heart, because that was it for me growing up, and I loved it to bits. It was everything. But the Diamond Castle is just cottagecore lesbians. They get carried away from the guys on a rainbow. They go back to their cottage together at the end and live happily ever after there together, selling flowers still. They see the guys sometimes, but they're not in a relationship with them, and it's so obvious. Yeah. Like, Barbie movies love to put a good wedding at the end. They love doing that. Like they did in Princess and the Pauper, where it's a polyamorous wedding. All 4 of them got married together, and then rode off in a carriage. Together. One carriage for all 4 of them. No one else. Come on. That is just what happened, though. Right, Cara? Right?
Oh, man, I'm very tired.
I know. But yeah, no, that is my main experience. But I did also get into Monster High and Ever After High, of course, which I am never not gonna be upset that they canceled it, because they were building up between the 2 shows to have them actually connect more than they already did. Like they had C.A. Cupid from Monster High go over to Ever After High, which wasn't a good thing for her character, but that's just one of the things. Then in 13 Wishes, Giles Grimm, one of the brother of the headmaster in Ever After High, is mentioned and sort of important to the backstory of the movie. And then in Boo York, Boo York, right at the end, when the new alien character goes to school, there's a bit of a clip. She goes to Monster High now, and she calls the students of Ever After High and is like, "Guys, Monster High is real." And it's like there's so much build-up, and then it's gone completely. They didn't continue, and I think it probably was partially because Ever After High couldn't live up to what Monster High did, both in dolls and the show. Because Cara's opinion on that is a generally shared opinion, because yeah, it's a bit too bright. It doesn't... Monster High has something special. It in a way revolutionized the way people look at dolls, and it was ahead of its time in some ways, probably. It shouldn't have been ahead of its time, but it was insane, because Monster High specifically has disabled characters. They didn't start out with Frankie having a prosthetic leg. That wasn't a Gen 1 thing. But they did have a character which was specifically in a wheelchair, and they had more stuff, which I don't remember specifically, but they had some hints and bits everywhere, which is insane considering when they started that and what they were trying to do here, especially because the creators of the show really worked hard for that. One of my favorite little fun facts is that in what was it called? Yeah, why do ghouls fall in love? One of the early Monster High movies. There's a character in there called Valentine, and he's a vampire, and he's sort of a villain in the movie, and he basically dates girls only to break their hearts because he's not really interested in girls, and the creators were trying to make him gay. Mattel wouldn't allow it, but they were trying really hard to make him gay because that was what their intention for that character was, which is such a fun little detail to know because, yeah, no, if you look at that character afterwards, like, yeah, clearly, he's not interested in women, he's just interested in breaking their hearts because it makes him feel powerful. And there's so many more things about him where it's just... I'm not saying he's great gay representation, but he's evil gay representation, okay? It's fun.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And he's not like an overpowerful villain trying to kill people or anything like that. He just wants to break girls' hearts. But he's a fun character, and a lot of people recognized him and fell in love with him. Heck, a lot of people
I've got bad news
fell
for
in
them.
love with the
I have some terrible news
you don't,
given the
because
plot.
I mean, yes, but like even then, actually knowing the people that absolutely fell in love with Monster High, only like maybe half of them was little girls and the other half was gay men. A lot of the doll community, the fashion doll community, and the doll custom community, and people who are interested in that is gay men.
I have noticed that, yeah.
Yeah. Heck, even drag queens are into it, which quick shout out to Monster High. Quick shout out to Monster High Generation Free having a drag queen in an episode, a drag queen character voiced by Trixie Mattel, a drag queen. I'm pretty sure Trixie Mattel also got her own Barbie doll at some point, but I don't know how legit that is, and if Google was just lying to me or not. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool, and Gen Free Monster High does actually have a pretty much canonic sapphic relationship between Cleo and Frankie, which is loved and appreciated. I don't like a lot of their changes that they've made so far, but they've done a lot of good. And I mean, I have watched every show, everything basically. I've seen a bit of Bratz, but that wasn't quite my thing. And I had a Barbie PC game. Which was Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, and was like also like a 3D platformer, I think. And I barely remembered it, and thought my memories of that was just a fever dream, hallucinations, whatever. I don't fucking know. And then I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, we did have that. And I was like, I'm not going insane. Yes! It was great. But no, I've loved Monster High because a lot of the characters are... Fashion dolls are very bright, usually. Monster High specifically strays away from that and goes a bit into the darker and more macabre vibes. I don't know if I said that right. Words are difficult.
Macabre. I was thinking
language. I'm suffering.
I was thinking of macabre as like the vibe that you were like the word you were looking for. And then you said it, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. That's pretty good. Yeah, I did want to add to that of like. I also really like Monster High because I think Monster High is my favorite thing of all the stuff. Like it's just really fun, and it because obviously like the intention of Monster High is very much that like anyone's welcome here. If like, and I think the movies are very good at portraying that. Like, and even the show itself, like the original web series and whatever. Like they're very good at like showing all these characters in different scenarios and different settings, and like how some things are struggles, some things are less struggles, but like it felt very nice, and it felt very easy to, if you do have a disability, you can very much see yourself in some of the characters, or you can feel very related to it. Or like, if you're on the spectrum, or if you're queer, or like, or if you're a minority, like a lot of like Monster High very much has a lot of nice things about that, and it's really cool. And they talk about like the this is the place where, like, you know, people, like, everyone's welcome who, you know, don't
Yeah.
have a place, and this is their spot, which is really nice. That's why I think, like, Gen 3 especially, or Gen 1, sorry. Gen 1 especially works really well for that one. I've only seen the
Yes.
Gen 2 movies. I think they missed the ball on a lot of things, but they have, like, one or two nice things here and there. And then Gen 3, all I've seen is the first live-action movie, which I think also missed the mark. I think it's better than the Gen 2 movies, but I feel like it didn't quite get the vibe right, which, you know, struggle, whatever. We'll see how the show goes on my end, and my perspective, because I very much go into the boat of being a Spider-Man fan and a Ninja Turtles fan. Every new show is a new time to do anything crazy with it, and then the next time around, you just gotta hope they pick up all the good things from every iteration, and they continue from there. And they also do new things. Every new reboot and remake is just a different universe, and they could all cross over at any point, and you could just go back to the old one if you like the old one, and you could be like, the new one's not my thing. I really like that we get the opportunity with that one, and I think Monster High has the greatest potential to be like a Ninja Turtles. It's just gotta take some time and take some pace, and hopefully the new stuff's successful enough that when the next one rolls around, they can fix up a few of the fumbles they made in Gen 3 and make it even greater Gen 4.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe
absolutely.
a second attempt at Ever After High would be fun too.
Yes, it would be.
Genuinely,
It would
like,
be
there's a
nice.
lot of potential there. Just a little sidebar.
Right?
I loved that the narrators were characters. That's funny. That's good. Season 1, they did it, whatever. Season 2, like the Wonderland stuff, that's some good. That's genuinely some really interesting writings. It's on Netflix. But if you don't want to use that site, because fair enough, it's a streaming site, there's also DVDs. And if you don't want to use that because they're hard to find, I'm sure you can pirate it some way.
Yes, you can.
Like, you know,
You can, in fact,
You
pirate
can
it.
always pirate things.
Yes.
Hell, let me know if you're pirating this. I would like to know. I would like to know if you're pirating this. I'd like to know.
Get a
if you
ship,
find
grab
it.
your crew, go pirating.
Or if you don't have a ship, that's okay. Just get like a little paddle boat. You know, get like a little boat. I have a little paddle boat. That's how I do my things. My old roommate, big massive ship, so many flags, so much crew. Me, little boat. You can build up to that, or you can stay with your little boat. It's lovely. It's nice.
I could hear you tilt into a little bit of Jackson, like, at the end of that, which really says something.
What?
Just silence afterwards.
Wait, are you stunned or something?
No. I just think it's funny and really nice to say. Thank you, Damo. What a lovely compliment you've just paid me. Ooh la la. For just small little context, that would be Jackson from Sans Pants Radio. And if you know that, Jackson, then you know it wasn't a compliment.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ami.
Yeah, but yeah, no. I've having watched Ever After High, yes, so much potential there, so much it could be. It's great. It just didn't get the time to really grow into how great it really could be because they cut it off before that. And at a time where it was genuinely getting so good, and I was getting really invested, and I was waiting for more stuff because I didn't get the mark. I didn't know that was over. I didn't know they had canceled it. I was waiting for more, and I was like, I'll just rewatch the old stuff and some other stuff, and I'll wait. I can wait. It's fine. And then there was nothing. Nothing. Betrayed.
Speaking of nothing, so
Oh, good segue there.
I kept chuckling at the idea of that being a segue, even though it'd be an absolute terrible segue. The next part, the last part I really wanted to go over was talking about we'll go to Army to talk about fashion dolls today a little bit more, but like more generally talking about like what we want our future with fashion dolls and fashion doll media to be like. Because, you know, this podcast is all about our experiences, all us. You know how it is. But Ami,
That's a great sell there, but
oh, thanks. I don't have a follow-up joke. I started spinning a hair tie
you
on
did.
a...
You just said it. You said it. It was so funny. We are laughing over. We are laughing over this right now. It was so funny. You just had to cut it out for time reasons.
I just started spinning a hair tie, like one of those ones that like the old corded phones, on a pencil. I just did doing that because it's fun and fidgeting. Anyway, what are fashion dolls like today?
Oh, well, it depends on what series, of course. It's actually, MGA is actually, working on a Bratz, retry thing, whatever, I forgot the word, but they're like making a new...
redoing it
again. Reboot. They're rebooting Bratz. And trying to bring that back, which sucks because it means their other fashion doll line, Rainbow High, is suffering greatly, which revolutionized fashion dolls in another way and really upped the price, the price range for fashion dolls in general, which is difficult. But a lot of their clothes, when they were in their like best era, were like really high quality with tiny details, adding in actual studs and not just prints and everything, and just really high quality fashion dolls. And from my understanding, they did also always come with 2 outfits, which explains why the pricing was like a little higher, but like that was their normal dolls, and that was really cool and really interesting. Monster High is clearly going a great way with their new body types and everything, and new doll modes. And it's and they're very much probably riding at the top of the fashion doll industry right now.
yeah.
And Rainbow High is now turning completely into like a gimmick doll brand thingy. Like they now added slimes and crystally creatures to it, and it's... Before that, it was actually fashion dolls. Now it's just gimmick dolls, which is sad, because if you rely on a gimmick, you're losing the fashion doll aspect of it. And Barbie, while they still have some really good dolls, a lot of the more common dolls tend to have clothes that are molded on, clothes that are part of the body mold, which isn't as fun. Like, every once in a while they did have that before, where I was able to understand why, because it's like, oh, this doll has a dress that is specifically more plasticky, and you can press a button, and then the shirt glows, and she can sing. And it's like, okay, that's cute, and the rest of the outfit is still really good, I get it. But they're very much losing that, and it's just like, clothes are molded on, they have the glowy parts, but the outfits are just not living up to the expectation anymore, and they're just not as good anymore, which is really sad, and really sad to see. But better for Monster High. And there is other fashion dolls, like mermaids, who... I don't know what quality their dolls are specifically, but they aren't really quite at the top of the industry because of how they failed their advertising. The show they made is really not that good and interesting. I very recently watched it. It tends to repeat a lot of points, and it doesn't even understand fashion in any way. There's one character who just... The outfit just looks wrong and mismatched to everything about her, and she has like a cooler form, but... the way she acts about it doesn't make sense. Her motives don't make sense and are specifically like, oh, I want to be cool and special and different. And then she gets to be cool and special and different, and then she's like, I have to hide that because no one will like this. When nothing so far has said that, but she accuses everyone of that. And it's not even done in a good way of like, you get where she's coming from? Which is sad, because it could have been great. They have some great aesthetics, and then there's another character where they were like, oh, this character is more goth, and she's really not. A bit alternative, but not goth. Which is also like, they clearly don't understand the aesthetics they're trying to put in here, which is sad, because it has a lot of potential. It also has a gimmick, but a gimmick that makes a lot more sense in fashion dolls, because they have color-changing tails. They're mermaid fashion dolls that have color-changing tails. And considering that they're mermaids, it's a little harder to swap out tails because they don't turn human. They're not, like, changing dolls specifically. So it's like, color changing tails is the perfect way to go about that. I just wish their show would be more interesting or would have been better. And it's only like one season with like 5 episodes, so it's like they have potential. I just have to actually do something. But yeah, that's basically the doll industry now.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Again, that's just really cool stuff. It's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we're learning. It's a learning show. How good's that? How exciting is that? Ah, it's a good time. So yeah, I guess I'll do the round since we have been. So like you know, get a demo. Like what is there any like specific stuff that you're interested in? That would that you want to do in the future, or like specifically of like a certain doll you're interested in getting or anything.
I zoned out while in the middle of while you were talking about that. Hang on, my brain's catching up to me. Okay, we're good. Say again.
Okay. Is there anything that is there any specific doll that you're interested in and wanting to try and grab, or is there something something specific you're interested in with fashion dolls or anything in the future, or it could be anything.
I don't know. I don't really have much input. I like how Claudine looks quite a lot. I'd like to try and get Claudine at some point. Just haven't had the money quite at the moment, but that's fine.
Oh, so you want a Claudine doll?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Not again.
Continue.
This is the funniest way to bully someone.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
I've done this before. Again, when Dan was like, I really want to get a Frankie doll. Oh, you want to get a Frankie doll? All right.
I mean, part of how we got our full doll collection was just bullying each other, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That sounds.
I'm pretty sure you. I really wanted some of the dolls, and you were like, okay, I'll get them for you, and I was like, oh, and then I got you the other doll in as a revenge.
We do. I do love the buyer's revenge, in which both the two people involved love gift giving, and so one person will be like, oh, I found a thing you'd like. I'm gonna buy that for you. It's like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna buy this for you. Oh, if you're gonna buy that for me, I'm gonna get something extra for you. Well, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna buy you this, and then you walk away with no money but with so much love.
Yeah.
And then someone ends up salty because they lost, and the other one's like, I don't care, I get the win no matter what.
Is this about the books?
Yes, this is about the books.
It's always about the books.
It's my favorite story. We walked into a bookshop because I wanted I was looking for a book, the Nimona book. I was like, I wanted that. I found a bookshop. We went going looking for it. As we were there, I saw a Coraline book. Ami likes Coraline. I'm like, oh, well, I could get you the book if you want. I've got some money. I'll buy you that book. And I was like,
it was specifically Coraline book and the visual novel.
We'll get to that
visual.
bit. No, because it was just the one book. I was like, oh, I'll just get you the book. I'll just get you the regular words book. And then you're like, oh.
No, because we were looking at them. You asked me which one specifically I want.
Yes, because there was also the graphic novel next to it, and I asked Ami specifically which one they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we picked out the book. Then we walked over looking around for other, just trying to find the book. And then Ami's like, oh, you're interested in Heartstopper? And I'm like, yeah, I am, but they're pricey books. I don't have the money. So then Ami bought all the books at the time. I was like, here's all the 4 books. And I'm like, oh. Well,
it was free at the time.
No, it was 4.
Was it 4?
Yes, it was 4.
Huh.
I am the memory girl.
Oh yeah, no, because it was
the
new. It was a new one as well, the one that I didn't have yet, right?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. And so you're like, here's all 4 books. I'm like, oh, well, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna go and buy you the other Coraline book. And so we walked away with not a lot of money. And Ami was annoyed because I had won when I'm like, no, this is just nice. it was just lovely. It was just great. I was just having a good time. I was like, oh, we're getting so
It was
books.
funny to go to the cashiers together and just we clearly walked in together. We're clearly here together, but we're also separately buying these books right next to each other. And I seemed a little salty about something. Very funny.
It's very lovely. I recommend it whenever someone has the opportunity to. I would recommend doing something like that. It's very fun. Anyway, my history of my future, not my history. Don't want to get those confused.
That'd be awkward, yeah.
Yeah, I could Benjamin Button. That wouldn't be good at all. Yeah, so my future with fashion dolls. I am interested in getting a few more dolls. Specifically, I do want a Laguna from Gen 1. There is a remastered version they did, part of like a very fancy series, and I tried to buy one and I got scammed, so it's really tough to get at a good price, and I do really want one of those specifically. That's my one. That's my one guy. That's the guy I want. And then like... I'm more interested in seeing the media. I do want to continue with Monster High in Gen 3 and see how that goes. And when I finish all the Barbie movies that we're watching. And, there's like that stuff. And I'm vaguely curious about like doll customization. I don't think I could do it, but I reckon I could have ideas. I've already got too many hobbies and too much other stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, that looks amazing, but I don't have the energy to doll customize. Oh my goodness.
I like the wording, I reckon I could have ideas.
Yeah, put that in a t-shirt. Put that in a fashion doll t-shirt. Make it...
Okay, I will.
Oh, I know.
Alright, we know how our Cara fashion doll is going to look like now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a crop top, and it's been done
that'll
poorly.
be one of her outfits. We're gonna make more.
Exactly.
See,
Yeah.
usually by people, if someone says that, it's a little bit of an empty threat. But I know Ami, because Ami's like me, a maniac, and we'll just do decisions, and we'll do things, and we'll commit. So I am a bit worried.
You should be.
Yeah, I should be. I very much should be.
I have the supplies literally saved. I just need to find the right doll, and once I find the right doll, you're done for.
I love threats. It's a lovely pastime.
It is.
Yeah, I love. It's very fun to get threatened and bullied at the same time. By two people that you adore very much. It's great. It's so lovely. Anyway, that's kind of all my future stuff. Is there's a specific doll, I want to watch more media, and I just want to spend time with the people I very much enjoy and watching this media. So it'd be very nice. But Ami, take us away. What's your future with fashion dolls?
Well, clearly I am planning to get into doll customizing. It's something I've been interested in for a while. I mean, I almost prepped an entire Draculaura doll. I didn't cut her hair off. I didn't get that far. But to be fair, that's also because I didn't know where to get new hair from, and I wanted to, but I didn't know how to get to MSC, Mr. Super Clear, which is a sort of setting spray for the face-up. So very necessary. So I want to get into doll customizing, and there is several dolls I still want. Several Draculaurus collector dolls. One of them being a Haunt Couture doll, where there is I've seen like maybe not the shoes for that specific one, but I've seen literally Monster High shoes, but life-sized, and I want to get all of them. But I've also seen that specific doll's bag somewhere, life-sized, and I kind of am tempted to get it because that's cool. And also a specific holiday Draculaura doll as well, because I really like the more wintry vibes that one has, which is, I love that. It's great. I love winter. Winter is fun, especially if it's not like overly Christmassy and it's just winter. I love it. It's great. Then I also I want like a bunch of the dolls that are still coming out from Monster High specifically, because there's still like some of the like Skulltimate Secret ones that I really adore and want, because it's like, no, this is the perfect vibe. This is what I want. And I love them. And also the Draculaura, the basic Draculaura doll that I did end up getting, is like, she has a bit of a weird bald spot on her head, which doesn't look good, and her hair is like kind of messed up a bit, which, while I could fix that if I just get more Draculauras, I could also just customize that Draculaura into me, because she has a similar body type to me, which is not a thing I could have had before, and using one of the old Monster High molds would have felt wrong because they are very skinny. They're skin and bones. One of them literally just bones.
Yeah,
It's really
she's great. It's so cool. It's so cool to be like, this fashion
It
was
is.
just a skeleton. That's
It is.
rad as hell.
Also one of the ones I also still really, really want. No, not want. I need that doll. I need her desperately. Is the new Venus Flytrap doll, the Gen 3 Venus Flytrap.
Yeah, she looks
She
great.
is everything.
She looks amazing.
I finally, she only, like, actually, like, the character only appears in season 2, and I've gotten to her, and I hope there's more of her, but they didn't really build it up in a way where there might be, which I'm salty about. But she didn't get, like, she didn't fall behind as much as, Jennifer did.
Ah.
Yeah, who's also in the second season of Gen 3 Monster High, the show. But yeah, no, doll customizing and getting a bunch more of the dolls, specific dolls.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Including Gen 3 Abby, because again, the body type thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun to be. I'm so excited about all this stuff. Monster High is just great. This is good.
Yeah. And one more thing, I am planning to not only finish showing Cara all of the Barbie movies and also all of Monster High. I will also get Cara to help me sit Damo down to watch all of Monster High. There's no escape.
Oh boy.
There's a bit of escape. Army didn't want to watch
There's no
Gen
escape.
2.
It's
I'm willing to go through it.
Escape.
Yeah.
Of course I didn't want to watch Gen 2, but I'm willing to go through it. If there's a request, I'm down.
On that note, on that lovely upsetting note, I've been Cara,
I've been Damon.
I can't sleep.
and that's Army. And while we're not allowed to go to bed because obviously Army is unable to sleep, the audience at home is allowed to go to bed, and we must wish them good night and good slumber.
I offer free forehead kisses for everyone who wants them.
Oh, that's such a lovely gift. I'm just gonna say good
I'll
night.
tuck you in with them.
Tuck them in with forehead kisses. Damn, that's powerful.
Yes.
That's crazy. Wow, this blanket's all covered up all over me as well. Oh, this is so lovely and so nice.